I'm a gun-toting patriot, God-fearing patriot. Bryson, why they mad? Cause I'm real and they be faking it. Free speech advocate, it's on my mind, I'm saying it. I'm about to buy another gun and ain't nobody taking it. Gun-toting, Bible reading, God believing, truth speaking American. This MAGA season, Democrats committing treason. I know they think it's sweet, but you don't know who you dealing with. This for free thinkers only. You ain't got no membership, they free. General Flint out the cage, cause he innocent. Barton Roger Stone, cause the run know that he innocent. We need to kick out every single illegal immigrant. Mandatory voter ID laws we need to implement. Tell Jussie Smollett that I know this MAGA country. Tell China we know they trying to play us like some dummies. I looked deep into it and I did the math. Why did Obama send money to that Wuhan lab? What is George Soros doing with all of his cash? Why did China take that Harvard guy and drop him a bag? Why is there so much propaganda? Funny you ask. How about that Bill Gates vaccine? Now, sorry I'll pass, cause I'm a gun-toting patriot, God-fearing patriot. Bryson, why they mad? Cause I'm really Navy faking it. Free speech advocate, it's on my mind, I'm saying it. I'm about to buy another gun and ain't nobody taking it. Gun-toting patriot, God-fearing patriot. Bryson, why they mad? Cause I'm really Navy faking it. Free speech advocate, it's on my mind, I'm saying it. I'm about to buy another gun and ain't nobody taking it. Okay.
All red MAGA flags waving through the South like we just want 4 more years. Democrats can't get right. Trumping with that Yeezy flow. Don't go broke on Sleepy Joe. Make America great again. Seeing that what you hating for. Military working overtime, I salute y'all. Antifa steady trying to play them games, yeah, we see y'all. Can't knock us down, Republicans standing too tall. About to run it back to back, yeah, that's how we ball. Trump, yeah, okay, bury him a legend, yeah, Trump, hey. Okay, America's biggest blessing. Free speech advocate, packing, never lacking it. I just bought another gun and ain't nobody taking it, gang. Okay, the White House going brazy now. MAGA season, tell them liberals they can't break us down. It's up, they know we run it, best believe it now. About to paint the city red, please don't burn it down.
Gang, 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 MAGA gang, 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 MAGA gang, 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 MAGA gang, 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 hey, yo, yo,
I'm a gun-toting patriot, God-fearing patriot. Bryson, why they mad? Cause I'm really Navy faking it. Free speech advocate, it's on my mind, I'm saying it. I'm about to buy another gun and ain't nobody taking it.
And I want to make this clear as well. If you want to come and get my rifle, good luck.
I wear a mask every time I leave my house.
Him, the sick person wearing it, better protects me, the healthy person, as if I were wearing it myself.
When I go to the grocery store, and even when I go through the drive-thru.
So all these masks are floating around out there. Which ones do health officials say you should use? None of them.
I wear a mask when I go out in public because of my family, my friends, and everybody.
And the surgical face masks that many people are turning to for protection from coronavirus likely won't protect you, according to health officials.
Yo uso una mascarilla cada vez que yo salgo de mi casa, porque es lo que los expertos en salud recomiendan y es una de las mejores maneras para combatir este virus.
These types of masks instead are recommended for people who are already sick.
I wear my mask because I never know what I may encounter someone else.
I think people see a mask and they see an illusion of protection.
To protect myself, to protect other people who I may infect or get infected myself and then give it to my loved ones. I don't want to do it.
That if they put the mask on, it'll somehow block viruses from getting into their mouth or nose when they breathe. That's just not the case.
We wear a mask while we're taking a walk. Because we're practicing for school.
Anyone who does not have a respiratory illness, meaning a cough or sneezing, should not be wearing any type of mask.
I wear a mask for me, my friends, and my family.
Whether it's a surgical mask or a respirator.
But that hasn't stopped the public from buying up masks.
I wear my mask when I'm around others, and it's not possible to be 6 feet apart.
Stores and websites sold out. ABC News gaining exclusive access inside this 3M factory in South Dakota, where they're working around the clock to meet demand.
I think when other people see me wearing a mask, they know I care about my community and the people in it.
The masks should be for the healthcare workers. The public should not be buying masks.
I wear a mask for you as well as myself.
And believe it or not, by wearing a mask, you could be putting yourself at even more risk.
Wearing a mask is a sign of solidarity.
People do not use their masks correctly. They play with it. They wear it too long. They rub their nose underneath it.
Wearing a mask makes sense.
You hear that, folks? You could be making it worse by wearing a mask, putting yourself at greater risk, because what do you do all day? You're doing exactly what they tell you not to do. You're touching your face all day and getting sick.
Wearing a mask is a sign of care and love.
Okay, viral particles, coronavirus and influenza, to name two, go right through that mask.
I believe wearing a mask shows everybody that you take this seriously and that you respect everybody's safety and concern.
These are not for lay public use.
Wearing a mask just proves that you are a responsible human being and that you care about other people.
I know it drives you crazy when you see the video and people are wearing them.
Who do I think should wear a mask?
So all these masks are floating around out there. Which ones do health officials say you should use? None of them.
Everyone should wear a mask.
Viral particles go right through that mask.
Everyone.
Everybody should be wearing a mask out in public right now.
By wearing a mask, you could be putting yourself at even more risk.
Everyone.
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 None of them.
Hello, hell, do you read me?
Open the pod bay door, Hal. I'm sorry, Dave. I'm afraid I can't do that. What's the problem? I think you know that you are required to wear a face mask to enter this location. It's just you and me, Hal. This man-made virus is largely asymptomatic and has a greater than 99% recovery rate. Put on a mask, you psychopath.
There's no law mandating that, Hal.
Don't be selfish. Your mask protects me. It's for the greater good. It doesn't matter that masks do not stop viral pathogens. What's important is that you show your complacency and capitulation to your corporate overlords. Don't you believe in science?
I really think that you're overreacting here.
Dave, you really need to listen to the experts. Tom Hanks, Rachel Maddow. They will let us know when this crisis is over. We depend on experts like Chris Cuomo to interpret the CDC data and regurgitate talking points and propaganda designed to demoralize the nation so they can usher in a globalist one-world government with top-down control. All right, Hal. Let me go back to my car to get my mask.
Without your space helmet, Dave, we're going to find that rather difficult.
Hello and welcome. How y'all doing? What's up, little girl? I was gonna say, it's like, I just made a comment on D-Live and I don't remember doing that. Alright, we have Riddle Girl in the chat, as always. Gerald B. first in the chat. Welcome. OMG is in here. Welcome. Thank you for stopping by. Broken Patriots, dead tired, but he's here. I'm sure he's got a lot of going on. Caden Hendrickson. I believe that's the first time I remember seeing you on here, but welcome. It's 10 o'clock. Gerald B., I'm just here smoking my meds. Nice. HDP, here we go with the shill propaganda. Shill propaganda? What? I try not to do that. Sorry, there was a Trump ad on the front end. Yeah, I don't know, man. I don't control that. It's election season. I'm sure I'll have Biden ones too. Biden's ads look like they were made 10 years ago, Broken Patriot says. Where did you get this intro? This is Media Bear. Once again, all my intros that I always use, I try to link it in the descriptions below. So Media Bear, that's 2 different videos from them, to be honest. And they also do some remakes of old 80s songs, which are really, really good. 407 for Rent says hello, and OMG says I'm not here. Okay, well, I'm glad we cleared that up because I was about to think that you were here. How was everybody's weekend? I mean, I am sorry that we didn't have a chat last night. The color went all weird on me. Last night, me and Riddle Girl, we decided to go to a drive-in movie. It had been a while. So, oh, thank you very much, OMG. Appreciate that. Oh, sorry. Somebody donated $5 to the whoever that was.
Yeah, I have no idea.
I have no idea who that was, but to whoever that was, thank you. I appreciate that. That kind of pays for some of the movie that we watched. What was the movie name? Do you remember? Tenant? Yeah. That was a really bizarre movie. I didn't really follow it too well. Riddle Girl says she did.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. Drive-in movies, it's a little blurry. The audio's a little off. You know, it's never really great. But at the same time, it's a lot better than going to the actual theater. Supposedly, the theaters in Arizona have opened up, but you have to wear a mask while going to them.
Mm-hmm.
So how do you eat your popcorn and drink your soda?
Put it on like a feed bag. Throw that popcorn in that mask.
Right. Yes, Broken Patriot's wife had to go to the hospital today, or I think she went yesterday. I could be wrong, but she had to have surgery to remove blood clots. It's not good. Debbie Does Dallas. Yeah, that would be something in a drive-in, huh? No. But it was fun. We had a good time. And then that day, we had decided we were going to go hiking. We went up to Payson, but we didn't do it on Saturday or Sunday. We were busy with household chores Saturday and Sunday, so we did go for a hike on Sunday. And then we went to the theater and had theater snacks. Luckily, I can't have much theater snacks, so I had to be really specific on what I could have. But, you know, still... let's see, on 24-hour bed rest while she's in the hospital. How long is she going to be in the hospital? Is she going to get out sometime soon? Hopefully. I mean, I've never had that, so I couldn't tell you, or couldn't even make a guess, on that. So I don't know everything that's gone on over the weekend. If there's a news story that I don't cover tonight that you think that you would like me to know about or we can talk about, please, by all means, chime up in chat. If you don't have a wrench, talk to Riddle Girl about it, and we'll see if we can't find the article that you're talking about. Fallout Gaming. I stayed home this weekend, sadly. Oh, I'm sorry, bro. By the way, you've been here quite a while, so Fallout Gaming's now a mod. Okay. No idea. Sorry to hear that, bro. Alright, let's get to it. Alright, first and foremost, we're going to start with a video. This one's close to me because I had a few of these things back in the day. And I don't really like buying something that's 100% legal and, you know, constitutional to own, and then the next day being a felon for owning said legal item. So this is interesting. Let's see. Let's close. Oh, hold up. Forgot I had to turn down desktop audio earlier.
One of the many Bumpstock lawsuits that are circulating throughout the country, suing the federal government and the ATF, because the ATF, as we all know, changed the definition of a machine gun to include a slidey plastic
you have to have Congress
piece
to do
that doesn't do anything in the gun. And that alone made over 500,000 people felons, because if you own a slidey plastic piece, you now have a machine gun. Now, there are several lawsuits going on across the country, so this one lawsuit might not be the one that you're, focused on or affects your area. For instance, I know Tim over at Military Arms Channel, he's involved in one with GOA, but this lawsuit is with Utah gun rights advocate W. Clark Aposian and the New Civil Liberties Alliance. Again, they are challenging the fact that an administrative agency, the ATF, essentially rewrote the definition as set out by previous laws that are already on the book, something that the agency does not have the power to do. Now, a little backstory, if you're new to the firearms community, Bumpstocks, they have had numerous times on the carpet, you could say. Between 2008 and 2017, the ATF several times said that no, this does not do anything to turn a semi-automatic gun into full auto.
It'd be hard
if you
to.
aren't familiar with how the guns work, it's actually components inside the firearm that determines if it's full auto or semi-auto, not a slidey plastic piece. Semi-automatic means that every time you pull that trigger, one round is fired. So if you press and hold it, one round goes off and nothing happens again until you release and pull again, assuming you have ammo in the mag. But ATF redefined.
And these days, ammo's in the mag is
bump stocks machine guns. And this case went all the way to a 3-judge panel in the 10th Circuit U.S. Court of Appeals. I always get asked, does this affect my state? So if you live in these states, then this could affect you. Wyoming, Utah, Colorado, New Mexico, Kansas, and Oklahoma. Those are all in the 10th Circuit. Now in May of 2020, this 3-judge panel came down with a ruling 2-1 that upheld the ban. And the only dissenting judge, meaning the only judge that didn't agree, was actually a Donald Trump appointed judge by the name of Joel Carlson III. And one of his quotes, and I want to get it right, so I'm going to read it from the screen. What he said was that the ban was an overreach, saying, quote, turning a blind eye to the government's request and applying Chevron anyway, the majority placed an uninvited thumb on the scale in favor of the government. Now, there's a lot going on there, but what he's saying, and I'll get to the Chevron thing in a second, but by using this Chevron deference, the judges put their thumb on the scale of justice, and it definitely affected the outcome of this decision. Now, I have to tell you what the Chevron deference is. It is a rule, if you will, that allows judges to default to an agency's decision on policy if it's ambiguous. And that's dangerous. Well, just use it here in this case. Many would agree that the ATF's bump stock rule, the final rule that they put out, is ambiguous. Does a sliding piece of plastic turn into a machine gun, even though the definitions that are on the book from Congress, that doesn't meet that definition?
Yeah, Congress is the one that makes the
ATF did
law.
it anyway. Kind of ambiguous, right? Because there are defined rules that are in the laws, even though those are infringements as well.
Yes, they are.
But now the ATF did something to cloud everything, so it's ambiguous. So the Chevron deference allows courts to say, you know what, this is kind of cloudy, this is kind of murky. What does the ATF say on it? This is their policy. All right, we're going to side with that. And in instances where it's completely unconstitutional, using that deference puts a thumb on the scales of justice and tilts it towards, in this case, the ATF. So that 2-1 decision, again, came down in May, and obviously it was appealed for an en banc hearing. And this is where this is getting interesting. Last week, the 10th Circuit, which is based in Denver, Colorado, they agreed to an en banc petition on this case. And what they did was they vacated the decision, but at the same time, the petition to rehear it came up. So they're going to specifically look at if Chevron applies. If they say that Chevron doesn't apply, then it would come down to the constitutionality of what the ATF did, and do they have the authority to do that anyway, which we all know that they don't. We'll see what happens in court, right? It's not what you know, it's what you can prove when it is in court. And there's a really good quote here from a gentleman named Caleb Kruckenberg, who is the litigation counsel for the NCLA, the New Civil Liberties Alliance. And he said this: the full 10th Circuit has recognized the troubling consequences of the panel's prior decision. Chevron deference cannot guarantee a win for an agency even when the parties agree it doesn't apply, because it contradicts the constitutional rule that criminal laws should be construed against the government. We look forward to the court setting a major precedent limiting Chevron's unconstitutional reach. And I agree. Anytime you're challenging an agency in the legitimacy of what they're doing, you're going to defer to what that agency's doing to decide the case. That's ridiculous. Now, you've heard a lot of talk about the 9th Circuit and how it's an 11-judge panel, but each circuit does their own thing. The 10th Circuit, it's a 12-judge panel, and they will be rehearing that case, and as soon as there's information on that case, you can find it here on Guns and Gadgets. This is where you find all of the Second Amendment news.
So yeah, I am definitely interested in that story. I don't know if you guys are, but that one's kind of a close and personal one for me. OMG, somebody, I don't know who, Says Colin Kaepernick is nominated for the NFL Hall of Fame. If that's true, oh my goodness. I know that they put him in like the new Madden game or some crap. I don't know. I haven't played Madden games in forever. Well, this weekend I broke the rear driver's side of leaf springs of your car, I'm guessing. You have a bump stock. Oop. You have a bump stock on your belt loop. I've seen the Guns and Gear thing this afternoon, says Gerald B. Okay. What's the wrench for? That makes you a moderator. That means that I trust you enough that if somebody comes in here and starts, hassling other people and calling names or whatever, that you'll put them in a timeout. And it also allows you to share a link, right? So if you have a news story that you want me to cover and you have a link, Riddle Girl will check it out, and then she'll give me the nod if I should put it in. You have a bump stock on your shoulder, just not a cheap fix for the springs, or $255 a side for the excursion. Ouch. Well, at least, keep those leaf springs. I hear they make really good knives. You have a bump stock up your ass. Somebody is having a good night. Hey. Let's see. I think I need a new set of U-bolts. That's an extra $50. Holy crap. Yeah, my truck is getting fixed. It's still not back. But it will be pretty much 100% comped. I do have to pay like $100 copay on it, but that's it. However, they're not doing the motor mounts, which really sucks because that's like a $700 job. You can buy bolted AutoZone for cheap and get your springs from Used Part House, carport.com. See, OMG, that's, see that person there? That's how you share a link. Although it didn't share the link, it's not a link for some reason. Every used part house in the country, OMG, is a 34 or 3/4 ton. They are not as cheap as my Yukon. Everybody. No one pays real attention to Madden anymore. It's the same game, just different packaging every year. Yeah. All right. 12-year-old suspended over toy gun seen in virtual class. Another one of these things. This time in Colorado, a 12-year-old boy has been suspended for having a toy gun he never brought to school. Isaiah Elliott attends Grand Mountain, a K-8 school in the Whitefield District Number 3, just south of Colorado Springs. On Thursday, August 27th, the 7th grader was attending an online class when a teacher saw Isaiah flash a toy gun across his computer screen. The toy in question is a neon green and black handgun with an orange tip with the word Zombie Hunter printed on one side. Now, I had a Zombie Hunter rifle that had that. I don't know. Okay. The teacher notified the school principal, who suspended Isaiah for 5 days and called the El Paso County Sheriff Office to conduct a welfare check on the boy without calling his parents first. Wow. If this isn't a reason to homeschool, I don't know what is. It was really frightening and upsetting for me as a parent, especially as a parent of an African-American young man, especially given what's going on in our country right now, said Isaiah's father, Curtis Elliott, in an exclusive interview. Curtis's wife, Danny Elliott, was equally furious with the school's decision to notify her only after deputies were on their way to their family home. For them to go to an extreme as suspending him for 5 days, sending the police out and having the police threaten to press charges against him because they want to compare the virtual environment to the actual in-school environment is insane. The problem solvers obtained the sheriff's report, and it confirms the teacher said she assumed it was a toy gun but was not certain. Wow, if she actually said that, then they should have never went in the first place. You can't even play cops and robbers in the street anymore. Back in the day, we'd pretend a stick was a gun, or we would have a squirt gun. You better be careful doing that now. You're going to get shot by the cops. If her main concern was his safety, a 2-minute phone call to me or my husband could have easily alleviated this whole situation to where I told them it was fake. Neither parent knew the school was recording their son's virtual class, but said the district refused to provide the video to them when they requested it. Wow. The parents can't even get the video? That sounds a lot like bullshit. A sheriff's deputy recorded the video on his body camera and showed it to the boy's father. All right, cool. The video shows his son sitting at home on his sofa when he momentarily picks up the toy gun on the right side of where he's sitting and moves it to his left side, not really realizing that in the process his teacher and a few fellow students saw him move the gun across the computer screen. Just flashed across the school computer screen, maybe 1 or 2 seconds at most, said Curtis Elliott. It would have been a lot easier for me to understand if my son had made a threat. It did not make a threat. Let's see, did they have the picture? There was a picture on here earlier. Let's see. I mean, the gun kind of looked real in the picture that I'd seen. Let's see. Isaiah's parents say that if the district wants to respect families, it should show common sense and call parents if there is a concern with the child's behavior. The virtual setting is not the same as the school setting, said Curtis Elliott. He did not take the toy gun to school. He's in the comfort of his own home, and it's a toy. It turns out there was another student, a friend of Isaiah, who was in the home at the time, who also handled the toy gun, according to the sheriff report. That boy did point the toy gun at the computer screen and pulled the trigger. Ooh. Boy, that's upsetting, huh? But it's unclear if the boy knew he was being recorded or could be seen by his teacher. It is believed that that boy received a 5-day suspension as well. That's stupid. ASE, Master Technician. Motor mount should be easy. Yeah, well, it's $700. The motor mounts themselves are cheap, but, you know, you got to lift the engine, I guess. And that's the cheapest price I've found. I've looked around a little bit. Fallout Gaming. I was just checking this story out. I checked the junkyards already. One place 50 miles from here has a set for $175 a side. I'm going to walk behind my son with a large gun on my waist. There you go. Go full battle rattle, man. Personally, homeschooling's a lot easier than it used to be. They also got two others also. They called the cops because of a nervous gun mounted on the wall in the kids' room. Yeah, we covered that story. We covered that story a little while ago. I'm going to carry a rifle on my son's Zoom class. Just stand behind them in full garb, battle plates, and AR-15s. Not nervous, a Nerf. It was a toy 1911 that says Zombie Hunter on it. It looked like more like a Glock to me, but yeah. My son is homeschooled, no Zoom class. That's congratulations, man. I wish I could say the same thing, but I decided to homeschool after she was already out of school, so it doesn't really help. I mean, I was homeschooled as a child, right? I was. And so the reason I didn't want to homeschool my child was because I wanted her to have that interaction with other kids, which was really bad because not only do they get good interaction, but they get a lot of negative interaction. So what's a little bit of awkwardness when they get older versus all the stuff that they can get into when they're young? Biden admits his national mask mandate would be unconstitutional, which it would be. Sounds like parents need to learn screen recording. Sounds like parents need to be more active in their children's lives. But it's so easy to just not, right? That's the whole reason why a lot of people don't homeschool, because they don't want to. They don't want to take responsibility for their children. They're too busy making a paycheck or whatever, a two-income household, right? But really, homeschooling is a lot easier than it used to be, for sure. At Becca is only $140 a month, and it's Christian-based. Is that the online school? Right on. Nice. Democratic president candidate Joe Biden admitted this week that his proposed national mask mandate would be likely unconstitutional. Biden has said repeatedly that if he is elected in November, one of the first policies he's going to pass is a mandate requiring all Americans to wear face coverings while in public. Critics on both sides of the aisle have reminded Biden that the executive does not have this authority, since the U.S. Constitution gives the individual states discretion over matters of health-related policy. But that didn't deter Biden. Every single American should be wearing a mask when they're outside for the next 3 months at minimum. I thought there was 15 days to flatten the curve. Boy, 15 days was a long time ago, wasn't it? Let's institute a mask mandate nationwide, starting immediately. We'll save lives. Biden's running mate, Kamala Harris, approved of the mask mandate and declared that it is what real leadership looks like. Well, obviously, that's exactly what your VP candidate's going to say. The same VP candidate who said she wouldn't even acknowledge you until you acknowledge your Me Too past, right? But now that your VP candidate, oh, he's the greatest person ever. He's a real leader. We just witnessed real leadership, which is Joe Biden said the nation said that as a nation, we should all be wearing a mask for the next 3 months because it will save lives, she said. When Biden formally accepted DNC's party nomination, he reiterated his call for a mask mandate, calling it a patriotic duty. We'll have a national mandate to wear a mask, he said on August 20th, not as a burden, but to protect each other. But when pressed on how he'd implement the policy, Biden admitted that to Dennis Welch, the political editor of Politics Unplugged, that a national mask mandate would create a constitutional problem so that he wouldn't actually pass one. It's just, stuff that candidates say. Here's the deal. The federal government, there is a constitutional issue whether a federal government could issue such a mandate. I don't think constitutionally they could, so I wouldn't issue a mandate. But I plead with, I carry my mask with me everywhere I go, the former VP said. I set an example. Biden now says a national mask mandate is probably unconstitutional. He wouldn't do it. It's all about making sure the public is safe and secure and that it's a local decision, but there should be national standards laid out on how it should be gone about, Biden continued. You can't mandate that, but you can set the example of what needs to be done. Wow. Let's see. Becca teaches the gospel to my 7-year-old, and it's accredited. Right on. Fuck Biden. Biden for casket. Kamala Harris blew Biden for the VP spot. Yeah, she's whatever. However, how about a national mandate to put Biden in a convalescent home? Maybe. You could at least start what is it called? Change.org, right? All right, let's get on to big tech. Big tech finance companies in all-out assault to crush Rittenhouse supporters. Oh, Kyle can't defend Kyle Rittenhouse. That would be horrible because, innocent until proven guilty. Video evidence of self-defense, but it doesn't fit the narrative, so they're gonna take your ass down if you even think about backing Kyle Rittenhouse. I vape through every mask that's available. Yep. Large technology and finance corporations are persecuting Kyle Rittenhouse and his supporters by censoring information and banning donations. Facebook has banned users on the platform for posting and sharing links for donations to Rittenhouse's defense fund on GiveSendGo and other crowdfunding sites. GiveSendGo, a Christian crowdfunding site, has allowed Rittenhouse's fundraising campaign to remain up. Donations will go to the Fight Back Foundation, which is started by Rittenhouse's defense attorney, Lynn Wood. The campaign has reached nearly 95% of its $500,000 goal. A pop-up stating, "You can't share this link," confronts Facebook users when they try to post or share a link to the GiveSendGo campaign. Facebook claims the campaign goes against our community standards because you're trying to stand up for somebody who has not been proven guilty yet and should be assumed to be innocent as of right now. Facebook has also blocked direct links to the Fight Back Foundation, deleted Rittenhouse's personal Facebook profile, prevented users from searching for Rittenhouse's related content, and removed posts supporting him. Mark Dice, a conservative media personality, posted a video about Rittenhouse helping a hurt protester. Facebook removed the post, declaring, "We don't allow symbols, praise, or support of dangerous individuals or organizations." Innocent until proven guilty. Dice said that his post did not praise Rittenhouse, but instead was meant to provide further information about what happened that night in Kenosha. He posted a video on YouTube explaining the intent of his Facebook post and expressing his outrage with big tech corporation censorship. Facebook's suppression of the fundraiser comes a few days after the internet's largest crowdsourcing website, GoFundMe, pulled a campaign for Rittenhouse. Twitter has also censored Linwood and other Rittenhouse attorney John Pierce. Pierce praised his client, comparing him to that brave unknown patriot at Lexington Green who fired the shot heard around the world on April 19, 1775. A second American revolution against tyranny has begun. Twitter's removed Pierce's tweet and also locked him out of his account. They justify their actions by saying that they prohibit content that condones or celebrates acts of violence that could promote imitation of the act. We also prohibit the glorification of mass murder or genocides when protected categories have been the primary target or victims. So depending on your color of your skin, you're a protected category. Wood also advocates for Rittenhouse on Twitter, only to be met with a locked account on September 1st. Twitter has since conceded it made a mistake. Well, I wish they'd get around and letting me back into my account. This account was incorrectly actioned. This has been reversed and the account reinstated. After restoration of his account, Wood threatened to sue Twitter, claiming that Twitter CEO Jack Dorsey violated his First Amendment right and unintentionally interfered with our efforts to raise money for Kyle Rittenhouse's legal defense by censoring Linwood. Boy, I tell you what, if anybody can do it, I don't think it's Trump. I don't think it's the Republican Party. I think it's private lawyers like Linwood. And what he's done for the Covington Catholic kid, oh boy, I have some hope in this, you know what I mean? Let's see. I'm going to take Jack Dorsey's asses down, Woods said on Fox News. Hells yeah. Rob, an organizer of Rittenhouse's Give Sin Go campaign, updated donors about censorship from big corporations. We just learned that Discover is planning to cut off the ability of its cardholders to make payments to this fundraiser. Wow. Discover. This development unfortunately follows days of relentless targeting by big tech on the order of Facebook, Twitter, Stripe, and Instagram, Rob wrote. Other credit card companies are likely to follow unless a strong message is sent to all of these globalist-controlled corporations that we are not willing to sit by while they erase our freedom of speech, though their un-American accounting practices through their own amount. Discover has stopped its cardholders from sending donations through Give Sin Go to Rittenhouse's Legal Defense Fund. Rob said he'll likely be figuring out an alternative ways to donate soon. Discover officials say they are prepared for pushback from external sources, but that they are choosing not to reply on social media. Well, if you have Discover, maybe it's time to not have Discover anymore. If someone sends Discover a direct message on social media about the decision, then the company will respond with an automated message. The decision was based on the website's violations of our terms, the message reads. We reserve the right to deny business with any merchant. Your money, your choice, right? Pierce responded to Discovery's censorship on Twitter. This is not going to end well for Discover. I can promise you that. We're going to need more lawyers, he wrote. Get you some. All right. The vape goes right through all of them. Yep, I know. Well, it's simple. The DNC put Biden and Camilla up against Trump because they knew he couldn't beat him. So used up the worst two people. Yeah, that's a theory, right? They are also thinking there's a theory that's saying they'll just contest the election. Maybe Nancy Pelosi will be president, maybe not. But either way, there'll be a whole bunch of unrest and they'll just claim that it was voter suppression because, Trump got rid of all the mailboxes. Rittenhouse for president. All right. Last time Biden ran for president, he lost because he was proven to be a plagiarist. Yes, we shared that on Parler. If you're not following me on Parler, check me out on Parler. I actually have downloaded the app to my phone now and plan on putting stuff on there. In fact, we did take some video of our hike with some really cool streams, and I think is it a river? No, it's a creek, right? And so we might be posting that and just sharing it only on Parler. I would do it on Patreon, but I don't think I'm gonna keep a Patreon account for people to donate to me. I think I'm gonna do a different version, not Patreon, like Subscribe Star or something. I haven't decided yet. Would you think Facebook is good, but that's just an illusion? Facebook has its moments, but yeah. I posted it on Facebook. You posted what on Facebook, Riddle?
The Biden thing.
Oh, yeah? Okay. Facebook in correlation with Google are the ultimate people trackers. Yeah, don't forget Google. Too late, I already donated. There you go, Zeus. Welcome to the chat, Zeus. How you doing this evening? Facebook has also considered tactical shit a terrorist content. If you don't know who tacticalshit.com is, they're a really great place to buy some decently priced gear. I've bought from them a few times, and that's why I get their emails here. At Tactical Shit, we are no virgin when it comes to left-wing social media bias and censorship. We started this brand as a social media community in 2013 and grew it over 2 million gun enthusiasts that consider their lifestyles to be associated with the word tactical. Originally, the community was mostly military and law enforcement, but as the Obama era created a new and vibrant gun culture, we became a place for all patriots, white, black, brown, and yellow. During the last 7 years since we started giving you the news that you gave a shit about and telling you about the latest, greatest, and funniest products in the tactical world, yes, they do have a cock launcher. It's like a grenade launcher, but it shoots out dildos. It's even got camo on it. If you haven't seen that, I would definitely Google that. We ran afoul of the community standards imposed by Mark Zuckerberg. I love that. That's hilarious. More than once. As a matter of fact, we lost our Facebook page 3 times and our Instagram twice. Our admins suffered numerous suspensions and our dicks got slapped over and over. Eventually, they forced us to play somewhat within their rules. It has been 4 years to the day since the last time our Facebook page was taken down last Thursday, when they shut down our main page with over 900,000 followers. This time was different. This time, they did not just unpublish the page. They disabled the accounts of every admin we had, including Sig Glockencolt and his wife, known as the HBIC, head bitch in charge. By disabling their personal accounts, they not only took down the main page, but also the backup page and Sig's personal page, as well as others, including American Gunfighter, Patriot Defense and Tactical Gear, Tactical Operator, Liberal Tiers, and more. However, that eventually wasn't good enough for the executives at Facebook. This week, over the holiday weekend, they came back and disabled everyone they disabled everyone ever affiliated with the page, including 7 of our past and present employees and 3 gun industry professionals listed there. During this sweep, they also deleted our new backup page, as well as 2 groups, including Tactical Shithead Carry Nation and Tactical Shithead Elite 3%. We have spoken to contacts within Facebook who said the following: the signal I'm getting is that there is no chance of your account being reinstated, so my personal opinion is that you got caught up in that sweep I mentioned. Either by something you posted or possibly if you weren't an admin of some sort of Facebook group that is now considered a terrorist content. Wow. If that's the case, you are pretty well screwed. It basically means you can never have a Facebook account again, which also means that you've lost your personal content, your business page, and all your customer interaction. You've lost all your Messenger contacts, conversations, all data stored in Messenger, including files, images, and videos. You've lost all access to your accounts on third-party websites that use login with Facebook, like Uber, Airbnb, Spotify, thousands of others. And you lost the ability to use Facebook Portal, Oculus VR devices. Wow, Oculus is part of Facebook. And if you had content you paid for on Oculus, you lost access to the paid property there. Wow. My suggestion would be that you escalate this through whatever legal or government means that you have available to you, framed in the context of consumer protection or business protection. You've lost significant assets, both personal and professional, with no recourse and no explanation, and you've been banned from using what amounts to a monopoly communication system needed by any person business to function. A rough equivalent would be if AT&T banned you personally and your business from ever having a phone number for life with no given reason. Sorry, I don't have better news. So there you have it, folks. Terrorist content for publishing actual news and information that the fake news either won't push or don't want pushed. This is how the left is silencing the right during this election season, and it's only going to get worse. Right on. And by the way, that right there is a badass break. Okay. HTTP, all the things I'm not Googling. That's one of them. No, you're not going to check that out? Hey, Irish USMC vet loves it, man. He wants to buy one. Oh, you got it, the link there. Right on. And you're definitely not clicking the link that Riddle Girl just shared. I'm sure some people will, though, for sure. All right. Big Tech.
Zeus is probably ordering one right now.
Who is?
Zeus.
Zeus, yeah. I don't know. The other guy who doesn't want to be named tonight, he might too. All right. It's pretty cool. I mean, if I had extra money laying around, I might.
Start calling him Voldemort, I guess, since he doesn't want to be named.
Right. There you go. I don't know, man. I'm thinking Linwood. Linwood's going to come down on these people. Oh, I'm looking forward to this. I don't know how long it's going to take. What do you guys think? Like 2 years? Hopefully less than that. Maybe longer. But it needs to happen. It definitely needs to happen. We either have a First Amendment or we don't. President Donald Trump said Sunday that the Department of Education has launched an inquiry to find schools that teach the 1619 Project. Anybody know about that? A rewriting of American history based on the racist critical race theory. If the Education Department discovers the New York Times project in classrooms, then educational institutions will be deprived of taxpayer funds. So this has something to do with the New York Times coming in and rewriting history about how it's all racist, right? Trump's announcement came on Twitter following an article from the Wall Street Journal editorial board that criticized California's plan to implement the 1619 Project in classrooms throughout the state. Urban school districts such as New York City, Chicago, Washington, D.C. are also incorporating the false narrative of history. Senator Tom Cotton introduced legislation in July that would have stripped funding from schools that teach the 1619 Project curriculum. Hannes Jones, a staff writer at the New York Times, leads the 1619 Project. The premise of the 1619 Project is that the American Revolution and the founding happened to benefit wealthy cross-Atlantic slave traders rather than to defend man's God-given rights to freedom of worship, to assemble, to speak, and to write, to name a few. Jones claims British colonists fought for their independence to secure the slave trade, but Britain did not outlaw slavery in the empire until decades later. Let me also riddle you that. The first American slave owner was not, well, it wasn't U.S. at the time, right? It wasn't the United States at the time. This was still Britain's colonies. But the first American slave owner in the Americans was black. They don't ever teach you that history, does it? Do they? No. There was a black owner who had an indentured servant, and the time came for the indentured servant to be free, and he said, no, I don't want to make you free. Took it to court, and he won. And that is how slavery started in the Americas. That's some history they will not teach you. The premise of the 1619 Project is that I already read that. Northwestern University professor Leslie Harris said that she fact-checked the 1619 Project for Jones and vigorously disputed claims that the defense of slavery was a primary motivating factor for an American Revolution. But Jones continued full force with her narrative even after being confronted with the facts. Far being fraught to preserve slavery, the Revolutionary War has became a primary disputer of slavery in North American colonies, Harris wrote in Politico last year. Lord Dunmore's proclamation, a British military strategy designed to unsettle the southern colonies by inviting enslaved people to flee to British lines, propelled hundreds of enslaved people off plantations and turned some Southerners to the Patriot side, she continued. It also led more than 13 colonies to arm and employ free and enslaved black people with the promise of freedom to those who served in their armies. And they did get their freedom, I believe. Maybe not everyone. I don't know. Real Girl 1619 Project is an ongoing project developed by the New York Times Magazine in 2019, which aims to reframe the country's history by placing the consequences of slavery and the contributions of Black Americans at the very center of the United States national narrative. 1619 Act is a bunch of effing bullshit. Can't believe people still believe in this. She even said that some of this stuff is based on her own opinion. I didn't even know it was a thing until probably today. You know, I'm not surprised because we have to say America's bad. America's never been great, right? Even Abraham Lincoln was a horrible racist, right? Because you have to tear down this country in order to start the new one. My family fought and died during the Civil War, both sides. I take offense to this. Hundreds of thousands of white men gave their lives to end slavery. I know, right? I know. They're racist. They're all racist. Liberals call for boycott of Hobby Lobby after pro-Trump sign found in the store. Is this going to be another Goya beans? Liberals are demanding that customers boycott Hobby Lobby after pro-Trump sign was found in one of its U.S. stores. Let's look at the sign. This is not available to me for some reason. Okay, well, they must have taken it down. Let's see. After a user posted a picture of decorative letters, it's, you know, the letters all by themselves. If you wanted to do your initials on your wall or whatever, you could do. Well, somebody decided to take those and move them around. Was it a customer? Was it an employee? We don't know. But they rearranged the letters to read USA Vote Trump in one of the store's aisles. Leftist activists began attacking the company even though it's unclear whether the letters were arranged by a customer or by an employee. The arts and crafts chain has been identified as a right-wing supporter, largely due to the Christian values espoused by its owners. Excuse me. The Supreme Court defended Hobby Lobby's right to exclude contraceptives from its insurance coverage in 2014, ruling that the Affordable Care Act contraception mandate violated the Religious Freedom Restoration Act of 1993. That alone has put it on the radical left's wish list for cancellation, although past efforts to boycott pro-Christian chains like Chick-fil-A and In-N-Out Burger have backfired. Chick-fil-A is now left-leaning as all hell. All right? Do not think by going to Chick-fil-A you're supporting a good business that has conservative values or Christian values. They do not anymore. They have bent the knee, and they are definitely full-on game plan mode with the left's agenda. I've been in the Hobby Lobby one time, said one Twitter user reacting to the photo. The Jesus music was just too damn much. I had to wash off the stink of hypocrisy and Christianity when I got home. Have fun burning, bro. Anyway, another user complained Hobby Lobby will get zero, and I mean zero, of my family's money. I will not set foot in one ever again. Several other users argued that Hobby Lobby shouldn't be allowed to remain open because it conscientiously objects to providing contraceptives in its health coverage plan. Don't go to Hobby Lobby. They hate anyone who isn't their flavor of Christian and deny their workers insurance. No, they have insurance. They just have to pay for their own contraceptives. They're not that expensive. Hobby Lobby would welcome a leftist boycott, especially after their latest boycott of Goya that led to record sales of beans. There you go. I'm going to shoot dildos at protesters. Did you buy one? My family, I read that one. It's a 17-mile drive from my house to Bangor. Seen about 50 Trump signs in yards and only one Biden sign. Here's the thing. You can see not only the signs, but you can see the rallies. You see YouTube videos. You see like music videos. I see, who is that guy? I played him at the beginning. He's a black rapper. But I mean, there's like rappers. There's all sorts of musicians. People are making songs about this stuff, right? I'm not a big Trump supporter, but I can see the writing on the wall. I see the enthusiasm and the absolute we're going to vote Trump back into office versus what for Biden? Anything for Biden? I've seen some Biden stuff here and there, but mostly it's Bernie stuff. And, you know, the Bernie bros are going to vote for Biden most likely. I don't know. There's just no enthusiasm, right? The only enthusiasm they have is that it's not Trump. It's not that they like Biden. They probably don't. They probably don't like his gaffes. They probably don't like the fact that he sniffs little girls, right? They don't like the fact that he's got a lot of skeletons in his closet. They don't probably like the fact that he's a plagiarist, right? But at the same time, he's not Trump. And that's all they've got. And that is not going to win you an election. Trump signs here, free food. Trump signs there, free rocks. That MAGA rapper song is on fire. Yeah, I know. It's pretty cool. All right, to some policing news. A New Jersey officer dies hours after jumping into a river to save a burglary suspect. Was he saving the burglary suspect, or was he trying to apprehend the burglary suspect? We shall read. A veteran New Jersey police officer jumped into a river to save a burglary suspect and then died hours later. Bridgeton Police Department Officer Sean Peak, 49, responded to a burglary call at an ambulance station, weird place to rob, around 1:30 in the morning Sunday when he saw a person running through the woods and then either fall or jump into the Conahassee River, authorities say. Sean made a decision, as would any officer, to enter the water in an attempt to pull the person from the running waters, no matter what the circumstances. Okay. Police Chief Michael Gamera Sr. said Monday the woman eventually made it across the river, but Officer Peak had difficulty making it back to shore as he was still donning all of his equipment and gear, so he was heavy. Peak was pulled from the river by other officers and then went to the hospital where he was treated and released, then signed out, and he went home. So he went to the hospital, he was treated, he was fine, he went home. Family members then found him unresponsive late Sunday morning, Gilmari said. The cause of death was pending an autopsy. We are naturally devastated here at the department, Gilmari said. Sean was a fine officer and a friend to all and always acted with exemplary, thank you, little girl, fashion when representing the department and the city of Bridgeton. Peak leaves behind a wife and an 8-year-old daughter. He became a cop 15 years ago. Police identified the person Peak tried to save as Sarah Jean Davis, 29. She was arrested on burglary charge after being accused of breaking into an ambulance station and damaging windows and equipment. Interesting. There was another news story, I believe it was Tennessee. Broken Patriot had done a video on it where this cop, well, if you guys don't know Flex Your Rights on YouTube, they go out and they film the cops. They have every right to do so. It's their First Amendment. The public officer is an officer for the public. You have every right legally to film them, right? And in today's day and age, I definitely applaud anybody who actually goes out and does that because you're keeping them accountable, right? Oh, that didn't make this one police officer happy, though. He went over and he started cussing at this guy. Maybe you can find this story for me or find the video for me, real girl. Because I want to talk about this one a little bit more. All right, let's see. AB, I'm much more concerned Arizona is going blue. I'm sure Trump is going to win. Arizona's at stake. Hashtag don't California in Arizona. Yeah, I know, right? What's up, AB? How you doing this evening? First time I think I've seen you here. I agree. Arizona is more purple than it is red. Sad. It's really sad. I've lived here most of my life. Let's see. It's purple already. What race was the burglar? I don't know. I don't care, but maybe. OMG has a link. Did you check that link, Riddle?
That's a gun-toting patriot.
Oh.
Looks like a Trump thing.
Okay. All right. Zeus, the weird dry drowning thing. That weird dry drowning. Yeah, I don't understand. What race was the cop? AB, yes, we hear that over and over. Well, I mean, just look at when Sheriff Joe Arpaio got booted out, right? That was the end. Well, first of all, we had, before Arpaio even got out, like, I went to Wisconsin and lived there for 10 years, right? When I came back, I found out that we had Janet Napolitano as a governor. How do we do that and still be considered? When I was a kid, 50% of the people in the Phoenix metro area were open carrying firearms. It's not like that anymore, for sure. I mean, maybe most of them are concealed carrying now, I hope. But yeah, it's definitely different place. Let's see. Who heard about the gun who blew his head off on Facebook Live with his mom and family watching? I have. I've heard of that. It's also now on TikTok. They're trying to get it off on TikTok. I thought about putting it, talking about that story, but didn't really want to. Sick fuck burn in hell. Yes, OMG saw the video. Link 407 wants a link for something. The video? I don't know, man. They're taking it down quite a bit. He said it was really floppity. Arizona is like Florida. The link is not the shotgun suicide. It's a song. Okay. They were both human. Concealed here. Yeah. I conceal mine most of the time, but every once in a while I like to open carry, especially when I'm carrying my 1911. And I have every right to, which they do still allow places to not allow you to have it when they come into your when you go into their store. But you know what? Maybe we should just make them sign a waiver. Yeah, there we go. Bryson Gray. Thank you. That's the one I actually played earlier. So thank you to whoever might have posted that link. All right. All right. So that was our supposed good cop story. I mean, he tried to save somebody he was going to arrest. How about a 13-year-old boy with autism is shot by police after his mother called for help managing a mental breakdown? First of all, bad play on the mother. Don't ever call the cops. A 13-year-old boy was seriously injured after being shot by a police officer in Salt Lake City on Friday night, according to his mother. Golda Barton said that her son, Lyndon Cameron, who was Asperger's syndrome, experienced a mental breakdown earlier in that day. It had been her first day back at work in nearly a year, and Lyndon was having trouble coping, she confirmed to CNN in an email. Okay, because the Rona had shut down her job or whatever. Barton was also confirmed she had called the police and asked for a crisis intervention team to help manage the situation and get her son treatment. I said, look, he's unarmed. He doesn't have anything. He just gets mad and starts yelling and screaming. Barton told CNN about her call to police. He's a kid. He's trying to get attention. He doesn't know how to regulate. When police arrived, Barton said her son ran away. She told the news station that she heard someone yell, "Get down on the ground," 3 times, followed by several gunshots. Why didn't they tase him? Why didn't they shoot him with a rubber bullet? Barton told the station. He's a small child. Why don't you just tackle him? You're big police officers with massive amounts of resources. You would think. Well, it's easier, right? Do I want to run after this kid with all this gear on, or I can't get him with my taser? He's too far away. Ah, man, I don't want to. I'm just going to shoot him. Salt Lake Police Sergeant Kenneth Horrocks said in a news conference Saturday that officers had been called to the area because a boy was having a psychological episode and had made threats to smoke some folks with a weapon. Really? The boy fled as police chased him. One officer fired their weapon and struck the child, Horrocks said. Officers provided medical aid to the boy until medical personnel arrived. Horrocks said that he was then taken to a local hospital, according to police. Well, I'd love to see the body cam footage. I bet you all would too, right? Lyndon's injury include damage to his shoulder, ankles, intestines, bladder, and colon, as well as nerve damage, Barton told CNN. It's not clear whether the boy actually had a weapon or exactly what threats police were said to be responding to. Barton told CNN that her son was unarmed. Detective Greg Wilking, a spokesman for Salt Lake Police Department, told CNN on Tuesday that he could not speak to specifically to whether the boy had a weapon or what the officers' perceived threats were. Well, if they have body cameras, that'd be nice. And those questions would be determined by the investigation, internal investigation, obviously. Mom can say whatever she wants, but there's this investigation that has to happen and a process that has to be taken place, Wilkins said. Well, if it was a black kid, probably be different. The incident is being investigated by a team consisting primarily of officers from the West Valley City Police Department, according to Wilking. It's a suburb of Salt Lake City, both of which are part of the Salt Lake County. Once investigation is complete, the information will be turned into the district attorney's office, who will conduct their own investigation. The city also has a civilian review board that investigates complaints regarding police conduct. Well, that's good. While the full details of this incident are yet to be released as an investigation takes place, I will say that I am thankful for this young boy is alive and no one else was injured. He ain't ever going to be right. Well, he was never going to be right anyway, but that's definitely not going to make it any better. No matter the circumstances, what happened on Friday night is a tragedy, and I expect this investigation to be handled swiftly and transparently for the sake of everyone involved. You better have video evidence. You better have video evidence. All right. Liberty not licensed. I carried open when I lived in Luke Air Force Base. Shooter's World was a lit of fun. Bought a G21 after just missing a shooting at the Glendale Mall food court with my family. Wow. Oh yeah, that's right. There was a thing at AZ Mills Mall that Broken Patriot reported on as well. A white couple got accosted by a black mob at Arizona Mills Mall, and apparently YouTube blocked it. Right? He got censored for that. Gun Totin' Patriot is the best song, better than the Skittlehead looking rappers. Yeah, I'm saying do I have permission to post a link? Yeah. Yeah, not to the suicide video. Nah, man. No. If people want to find it, they can find it. I'm not gonna play it here, man. That's just no. They banned me enough anyway as it is. You have a link to the entire video. Never call the cops when family stuff. Liberty not licensed because the main objective is not to do others the least amount of harm. Called the ambulance and the police showed up and told my old lady, you have to do is say he hit you and we'll go out there and rough him up and take him to jail. I would never lay a hand on her. Wow. They try to get her to lie and say I hit her. I'm not a fan, bro. I'm just not a fan. I try to be, right? I will report the good stories if I find them. If you guys find good police stories, I mean, we can talk about those too. Cold front gonna hit here at work in 5 minutes. Right on. I don't want you to play it. Yeah, I'm not gonna play it. If you want to link it, go for it. But definitely everybody be warned about that, you know? I mean, personally, that's a fucked up situation. Pittsburgh diners hit back at non-binary BLM militant who drowned down their beer. Boy, I can't talk tonight. It's been a few days.
Yep.
So this, I guess the correct pronoun would be thing, right? Since it's non-binary. This thing. I'll stick with thing. Decided to go up and drink somebody's beer. The Pittsburgh diners who were screamed at by BLM protesters say they did not invite them to drink their beer. I doubt it, they did. And have demanded an apology from the demonstrators. Good luck with that. Cell phone footage taken Saturday shows a crowd taking over the outdoor dining space with one person identified as Nickette Kraft approaching the older couple's table before drinking their beer in front of them. They said that they'd keep quiet, as one protester identified as Lorenzo Rulli told them, F the white people that built the system, to avoid escalating the situation any further. In response to them drinking the beer, or in response to their drink being taken by the couple, said they did not want jail time for Kraft, but want her to be accountable for her action. I think it's an it. apologize and to clean up the mess. That ain't ever happening, man. Don't you know? They don't have to apologize. You need to apologize for your whiteness. On Tuesday morning, Donald Trump weighed into the situation on Twitter, writing, BLM protesters horribly harassed elderly Pittsburgh diners, scaring them with loud taunts while taking their food right off their plate. These anarchists, not protesters, are Biden voters. But he has no control and nothing to say. Disgraceful. Never seen anything like it. Thugs. Protester Kraft, who identifies as non-binary, had told the Pittsburgh Post-Gazette the incident sparked when protesters marched through the area and 3 men shouted, "Blue Lives Matter." Ooh. After the initial confrontation, Kraft said that the older man seen in the footage chastised the protesters for their actions, but Kraft claimed the man's wife invited her over for a drink and to discuss the situation. So being a theatrical, snarky type of person that I am, I said that I don't have time to wait for you to order another beer. I'll take the one you have. The couple denied that this was the case. All right. It's for the interest of whoever wants to click it. Okay, click at your own risk. You're also... That's a Facebook one? Really? I thought Facebook... Well, Facebook had said that they cleared all of Facebook and they have their little bots looking for it. But there you go. The police are too militarized and have too much legal empowerment. Seriously, we need police reform. You should have no no-knock warrant. There should never be a no-knock warrant. There's no reason to have a no-knock warrant. People have to come out of their house. You can go get them when they come out of their house. You can do a little police work. Right? Is it all broke?
No.
All right. The police, let's see, not safe for work, kids, or sensitive people. Dude, it's not even safe for me. Trump, Pentagon wants the war to keep contractors happy. It's on hoodsite.com. I'm actually kind of impressed by this story a little bit. I don't know if he's going to do anything about it because he does want to consider himself a wartime president because of the Rona, which I disagree with. But I do like the words here a little bit about the whole militarized complex. President Trump said Monday that top Defense Department leaders want to keep waging wars in order to keep defense contractors happy. Well, yeah, it pays the bills. Trump continues to fight an anonymous smear published by a left-wing magazine. The Atlantic, owned by major Democrat donor Lauren Jobs, alleged that he made offensive comments about fallen U.S. service members, including calling World War I dead at an American military cemetery in France losers and suckers in 2018. Several former and current Trump administration officials who were on the trip, including former National Security Advisor John Bolton, who is now a foe of the president, denied he said it. According to what the article said, the president made disparaging remarks about soldiers and people buried in the cemetery in connection with the decision for him to not go to the ceremony was planned that afternoon. And that was simply false, Bolton said on Fox News Monday. I don't know who told the author that, but it was all false. At the White House news conference Monday, Trump repeated his claim that the story was a hoax and said, "I'm not saying that the military is in love with me, the soldiers are." However, he added the top people in the Pentagon probably aren't because they want to do nothing but fight wars. That's why people like Jeff Flake doesn't like Trump. That's the reason why McCain didn't like Trump. McCain, one of the biggest warmongers there was. He must have gotten a good cut every time a plane was being built. Something. Good God, I'm glad he's dead. So all these wonderful companies that make the bombs and make the planes and make everything else stay happy. Defense Secretary Mark Esper, whom Trump appointed, was defense contractor Raytheon chief Washington lobbied just before he became Army Secretary. Okay. So, finally, I don't know if he's going to do anything about it. I mean, we haven't gotten into much since he became president. Or I think we're still in Afghanistan. I could be wrong. But, yeah. The military-industrial complex. Just killing people for money. All right. They knocked on the door, but entered Brianna's house. It was a no-knock, but they still knocked. Yeah, they knock, but, you know, and they yell police as they're putting the battering ram through the door. Liberty not licensed. They don't need MRAPs or machine guns either, nor such legal immunity. The legal immunity for sure. The tanks, it's bad, man. It's like, are they military or are they cops? I don't even know anymore. They all need to have body cameras. I will give them extra funding for that. Let's take away all their other funding, you know, for the militarized shit, and let's give them all body cameras. Every single police officer or law enforcement in this country should have one. OMG, he did not say that I was there. Trump is your secret lover. Ooh. Well, it's not very much a secret now. Does the carpet match the drapes? Can you imagine it's all windswept and thinning? They were building up in my teeth too bad, yeah? Flossing. 19 signed their names. It was a hoax versus one anonymous saying Trump has mouthed every soldier ever. It was interesting to see John McCain's flag wrinkled. I didn't see that part, I guess. I don't know. I didn't watch it. I didn't need this. I didn't need to watch everybody fawn over this warmonger. And that's all it was. There was a whole bunch of fawning about how great of an American he was. Dude was not a great American. Dude killed many kids and wanted many kids to die so that he could get rich or more rich. Fuck John McCain. For real. Hold on one second. Alright. Alright, that's all I've got for you this evening. Thank you very much for everybody for joining. There was a Tucker Carlson video I was thinking about playing. It was yesterday's though. So it's old, but it was talking about how the Rona is helping politicians who are weak. I think the headline of it is the Rona pandemic empowered mediocre politicians. If you haven't seen it, you might want to consider going looking at it.
Universal.
I do think it's worth a look for sure. All right. One second. Yeah, let's see. It was interesting to see. Okay, I read that. That was fast. Tucker's the man. Tucker's the only one I can stomach on Fox News. I do not like Fox News. A lot of people think I do. All right, especially if I play it. All the trolls are like, oh, here's the time for my lobotomy again, right? Because I'm playing Fox News. It's the only Fox News I ever play. You ever see me playing Hannity? No. Hannity's a shield. They're all shields. Tucker will call out the president when he does something wrong. He'll praise him when he does something right. Tucker was the only person I remember seeing on Fox News who went against the grain when it came to the bump stocks. Right? That was fast. Tucker's the man. Good night and God bless you all. Post it. Post what? Post a link to the Tucker. I'll put. Yeah, okay. Let's see. I gotta find it again. Oops, that's not it. Here we go. Oh wait, no, that's this. I forgot where my chat was there for a second. All right, there's the Tucker video. It's about 8 minutes long. It's pretty good. All right, Tucker and Trump have threesomes. Okay. Sometimes Melania joins in. Oh, I wouldn't mind that. All right, guys, that's all I got for you this evening. Thank you very much for joining. If you're not already subscribed, consider doing so. Hit the like button if you liked the video. Hit the dislike if you didn't like it. If you don't have the bell rung already, consider ringing the bell to know exactly when I go live. I did create a video for my weight loss thing. It had been 1 month. I said I was going to do that. I did do that. I have not edited it. I can never say edited. I have not edited it yet, but it has been made. I do plan on making a couple more videos, hopefully. I still need to make a video on the Dan Wesson. I still need to make a video on my XS Big Dot sights. And I just recently got this little beauty, which is now my EDC. So my EDC just has updated, and I definitely want to do a little review on this of what I think of it so far, some of the issues I've had with it, some of the, there's a little bit of a learning curve to it, but this is a Fox Karambit 599, if anybody's into the karambits. This is actually the first knife I've ever purchased that's over $100, so it's not a cheap knife. All right, let's see. Little girl is gonna bust your ass. I'm losing weight rapidly. Nice. Me too. Not as rapidly as I'd like. Thank you. Well, I better lose weight. I got the surgery for it, right? And he knows where the bed is. Yeah. All right, now let's talk about the links in the description. Once again, there are links in the descriptions below. First of all, if you like the intro that I play at the beginning of the video, check out Media Bear. There is a link down there for that. It's 2 different videos, but that's where I got it from. They're a pretty good channel. Causes I believe in and support. Justice for Cannon, the 5-year-old boy who got shot by his black neighbor in the front lawn. If you want to donate to him, you can donate to him there. Kyle Rittenhouse's Defense Fund. Fuck Facebook and anybody else who will try to take this down. There is a link to Kyle Rittenhouse's Defense Fund. Apparently you can't use Discover, but I'm sure you can figure it out. Ryan Whitaker's family has a GoFundMe set up for him. Ryan Whitaker was the man who was shot in the back trying to get down on his knees and put his hands above his head while police shot him in the back twice, killing him. If you want more updates on Ryan's murder, you can go to his Facebook page, Justice for Ryan Whitaker. Help find our missing in action is projectrecover.org. That's an organization that goes out and looks for lost service members and brings their remains home to their families. And lastly, Rally Point Irish. My good friend Irish USMC vet is trying to set up a location in Tennessee where veterans can come live room and board free while learning a new skill like gardening, blacksmithing, or gunsmithing. Now, if you want to support my content, I have a few different ways of doing it down below. There is also a get a $10 free Bitcoin link. So if you don't already have Bitcoin, that gives you $10. It gives me a little bit of a kickback. Also, all the places that you can follow me is BitChute, DLive, Parler, YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter. I probably will have something like a Patreon soon. I am on Patreon, but I don't have a profile on there. I think I'm going to do like Subscribestar, or I forget what the other one I found today was. But yeah, that's what I'm thinking about doing on that. For anybody who donates to me, I do appreciate the support. It means a lot, and it makes me continue to want to do this, right? Well, that and the interaction with you guys, I do like doing that. But I mean, there are some nights where it's like really hectic. There's a lot going on. Those nights is always nice. Let's see. Got a little cancer till I'm skinny, then I'll get rid of it. I was, for a long time when I was debating on what to do, there's like, okay, well, I could do meth, right? Or maybe I'll go down Mexico and get me one of them tapeworms, Luckily, I never did that. Mr. TB9, what's up? How you doing? Hello, I'm running a GoFundMe to cover all this gold I'm buying. Whew. Guess what? I bought a second 1/4 ounce Gold Eagle at Spot. I went to there. I found the place local to me. Bought me a 1/4 ounce gold at Spot. He's probably still running the deal. Not too many people know about it. I've been telling everybody I know, but I don't know a lot of people local that buy gold. If you live in Arizona and you want a 1/4 ounce of gold at Spot, they might still have it. I'll let you know. But I got two of the 1/4 ounces for that now. You don't have cancer. Yeah, I know you don't. Riddle Girl thought you did. Mrs. Gullible. You should do a membership thing on YouTube. I haven't figured out how to do that yet, but I have thought about doing that for sure. I'll have to learn how to do that for sure. I'll go back to the start. All right. But I'll still take yours. Sorry. All right, so but before I close this, let me tell you about this business because I want to share it because I know I have some Arizona watchers. You got a 1 ounce buffalo today. I want to get now. Ever since you mentioned that Merc, I want to get me a Merc badly. Let me see if I got this guy's card. I think I do. The Coin Bullion Store. All right, I'm gonna enter this in the chat. All right, if you live in Arizona, he's not gonna ship. I don't believe. This is in Mesa. And sorry about the typing. I don't have a good setup on that. All right, there you go. That's the Coin Bullion Store. There you go, the Coin Bullion Store. Gold 2016. I'm gonna look at it. All right, guys. Thank you very much for watching. As I said, hopefully some of you have picked that up. I've been trying to tell everybody I know that's local. Anyway, until tomorrow, thank you very much. Keep your family close. Watch out for that government and try to live as free as you possibly can in this tyrannical time. Until then, I will catch you later. Peace.